Alright, so here we go again. We're going to factor this trinomial. GCF, there's not a GCF. We have three terms. The first term is something other than a 1, so we're going to use product sum method. So when we multiply the first and the last terms, 3 times positive 4 is a positive 12, which means our signs will be the same, so we'll be adding. Now let's think about our factors of 12, and we can stop when we get to a combination of 8. So let's see, 1 times 12, then there'd be, 2 times 6? Aha! 2 and 6 add to give you an 8, right? And if the 2 is positive and the 6 is positive, then that gives us a positive 8. We're going to use that then to rewrite our middle term. So we'll have, oh, that's not very pretty. We have 3x squared plus 2x plus 6x plus 4. That's how we're going to rewrite that same problem. Now that allows us to be able to do factor by grouping. So out of the first two terms, we have an x in common, and x times 3x would be 3x squared, and x times a positive 2 would give us 2x. In the second two terms, we have a positive 2 in common, so 2 times 3x would give us 6x, and 2 times a positive 2 would give us 4, which is exactly what we needed. We need those to be the exact same. So now when we factor out the common 3x plus 2, we're left with the other factor of x plus 2. So this is how that factors. Okay. The next one says x squared, or 8x squared rather, minus 14xy plus 3y squared. And here again, we need to look for GCF first. There is not one in this case, so no GCF. Now we have three terms. The first term is not a 1, so that tells us we're going to do product sum method. So, and if you're getting confused because you see more than one variable here, don't worry about that. Focus on the procedure. Okay? So let's see, 8 times a positive 3 is going to be 24. Now because it's positive, that tells us that we're going to be adding these numbers together. So as you're doing your factors, try and keep in mind what two numbers can you add together to get a 14. So 24 would be 1 times 24, or 2 times 12. Hey, how about that? A negative 2 times a negative 12 would give us a positive 24. And when we add them together, it would give us that negative 14 also. So this is how we're going to break up the middle term. We're going to rewrite this as 8x squared. Then instead of the middle term, I'm going to write it as minus 2xy minus 12xy plus 3y squared. Now let's do our factor by grouping. So out of the first two terms, we have a 2 and an x in common. When we pull that out, we'll have 4x minus y as our reverse distribution. Now, look at your signs here. You really need 4x minus y to be your other binomial factor. So what do you have to pull out of both these terms to make that happen? Well, to get a negative 12, we'd have to multiply that by negative 3. And so negative 3 times 4x would give us the negative 12x, but we still need the y. Now double check it to make sure that works. Negative 3y times 4x would give us negative 12xy, and negative 3y times negative y would give us a positive 3y squared. That's exactly what we needed. So now we can factor out the common binomial factor, and we're left with 2x minus 3y as the other factor.